A very good afternoon to one and all. In last class, we discussed about guided transmission media. In today's class, we will discuss about unguided transmission media and introduction of digital modulation. So, before going to the topic, I'll revise once again the last topic. So, transmission media is nothing but it is a physical path between the transmitter and receiver, and the transmission media can be classified into two types. One is guided transmission media and the second one is unguided transmission media. So guided transmission media is nothing but the physical cables we are connecting to the source to destination to transmit the message. So the guided transmission media can be classified into three types. The first one is twisted pair cable, second one is coaxial cable, and third one is optical fiber cable. So coming to the unguided transmission media, we'll discuss the unguided transmission media in detail in this topic. So unguided transmission media is also called as unbounded transmission media or wireless transmission media. We can also call it as unbounded transmission media or wireless transmission media. Why? Because unguided transmission media transfers the data without physical medium or conductor. It will transfer the data through the air. So unguided transmission media will not need any cables to transfer the data between transmitter and receiver. It will simply travels the data through the air. So the definition of unguided transmission media is unguided transmission media transfers electromagnetic waves without using physical medium or conductor. So it will that means it will transfer the data without using any cables. So it will simply transfer the data in the form of electromagnetic waves. So it will transfer the data in the form of electromagnetic waves in the air. So the unguided transmission media not necessary for cables. It will not need any cables. So at the advantages of unguided transmission media is the signal is broadcasted through free space, that means air. So the unguided for unguided transmission media, we will not need to connect cables from source to destination, not necessary. So it will simply transfer the data through the air. So this is the one advantage for unguided transmission media. The second one is unguided transmission media can travels in several ways. So the several ways are, first one is sky wave propagation, and second one is ground wave propagation, and third one is line of sight propagation. So in several ways the data or the signals, electromagnetic waves can be um, travel through the air in several ways. That ways are, first one is ground sky wave propagation, ground wave propagation, and line of sight propagation. So we'll see one by one what are the propagations: ground wave, sky wave, and line of sight propagation. So ground wave propagation is nothing but along with the ground the electromagnetic waves can travel. So ground wave means, the name itself we can say that ground is nothing but earth. So along with the earth the signals will travel from source to destination. So this ground wave propagation, it is having limited frequency. It will travel the data for less distance. So this ground wave propagation is used for like FM radios, like that. So when the data is traveling through the earth, so there is a many obstacles like vehicles, humans, buildings, walls, but it will cross that obstacles, and it will transmit the data. Ground wave is propagation is nothing but along with the ground the signals will travel to the destination. And skywave propagation means it will travels the electromagnetic the next one is skywave propagation. In skywave propagation, the electromagnetic signals will travel in atmosphere uh, through the one antenna to another antenna. So these electromagnetic signals will transfer in ionosphere. Ionosphere is a atmosphere layers. We are having seven atmospheric layers, troposphere, తర్వాత mesosphere, like that we are having seven atmospheric layers. So that in that layers above to the earth after 80 kilometers there is a ionospheric layer. So this layer will receive the signals and reflect back to the signals. So it will not in ionosphere layer having only ions, so the signals will not go to the next layer of ionosphere. So ionosphere layer will receive the signals and it will reflect back to that signals. So the let us consider we are having two antennas from one let us consider two antennas A and B. So when we are sending so these two antennas are very long distance, we are sending the data between two. So so we are sending data from A antenna to B antenna. So that A antenna will send the electromagnetic signals. So that signals will goes to the ionosphere through the ionosphere and it will reflect back to the atmosphere only. So that means it will reflect to the to air only. So that that signals will received by antenna B and it will send to the destination. So like that in skywave propagation the electromagnetic signals will travel. And the third one is a line of sight propagation. So line of sight propagation will the frequency range in line of sight propagation, the electromagnetic signals frequency range is very high. So that frequency signals will not be sent through the ground wave propagation and skywave propagation. That frequency signals will send through the line of sight propagation only. So these are the three wave propagations. So this unguided transmission medium, that means the electromagnetic signals will travel through any wave propagation, that means ground wave propagation, sky wave propagation or line of sight propagation. So through the any propagation we can send the unguided signals. So these are the advantages. And the next one is the electromagnetic spectrum. So the ranging from 3 kilohertz to 900 terahertz. So for a wireless communication the frequency of the signal between 3 kilohertz to 900 terahertz. So we can send the data between these two. So these are the advantages of unguided transmission media. So unguided transmission media can be classified into three types. The first one is radio wave, and second one is microwave, and third one is infrared waves. So we'll see one by one: radio wave, microwave and infrared waves and its advantages. So radio wave is nothing but it is a one type of electromagnetic signals. So it will send the lower frequency signals only. So that means the frequency range from 3 kilohertz to 1 gigahertz. So that type of frequencies signals only the radio waves will send. So the advantages of radio waves are radio waves are omnidirectional. That means it will propagate all directions, not only one direction or two direction. Any direction it will propagate. That means it will travel any direction. And second one is it will penetrate walls. That means these radio waves can travel through the walls. That means uh, it will cross over the walls and uh, uh, goes to the destination. And the next one is, so these are the advantages of radio waves. So examples of radio waves are FM radio and TV broadcast. These are the examples. So when we are taking FM radio, the signals will travel through the air only. So in radio waves you will use ground wave propagation. So the frequencies between 3 kilohertz to 1 gigahertz. So when the signals will travel through the ground wave propagation, that means it will travel along with the earth. So there is a many obstacles. There may be cars or humans, or we may close our door, but still we are reaching the signals. So that means it will cross over that door, and it will travel the signals, and that signal will reach our FM, and will listen the songs or any news, etc. So these are the advantages. So radio waves can be travel in any direction, and a group of people can receive that signals at a time. So these signals can be received by the many people. So that is why it is traveling omnidirectional. So here let us consider there are 10 people. 10 people are having FMs. So any all are will receive the signals, all are can listen the FM radio. So this is the radio waves. So that signal can be uh, accessed by anyone, or a group of people can access that signals. So these are the advantages. Let us take TV also. So group of people, everyone is having television at home, so everyone can watch the program. So that signals can be received by group of people. So these all are radio waves. That means the radio waves are travel or propagate in all directions. Anyone can access that signals. And another point is it will not absorbed or it will not destroyed. The signals will travel until it reach the destination. So these are the radio wave and its advantages and examples of radio waves are FM radio and television, etc. And the next one is microwaves. So microwaves are also electromagnetic waves only. So the electromagnetic waves frequency between 1 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. So we call it as microwaves. So the waves is having the frequency between 1 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz, then we call it as microwaves. So the advantages of microwaves are unidirectional. That means only sender will send the data, and the receiver will receive the data through the antennas only. So like radio waves, everyone can receive, everyone cannot receive the microwave signals. So in radio waves, the group of people who are having or else the group of people who are authorized to access that data, that people all people will access. But in microwave, the frequency is very high, that is between 1 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. And So and it is unidirectional, so that data will transfer antenna to antenna, and sender to receiver only. In a group of people will not access the signals. And it is propagation is line of sight. So the in microwave wave propagation is line of sight, because the frequency here, the frequency is 1 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz, so it is very high frequency. So that is why we are using line of sight propagation. So this is the microwave uh, microwave unguided transmission media and its advantages and examples of. And the third advantage is very high frequency microwaves cannot penetrate walls, so it will cannot cross over the walls. So examples of microwaves is cellular phones, satellite network and wireless LANs, all are examples of phones. By using cellular phones, only sender can receive sender can transmit the data, and receiver only the receiver receives the data. Satellite networks and wireless LANs all are examples of microwave unguided transmission media. And third one is infrared waves. So infrared waves are also electromagnetic radiation with longer wavelength than those of visible light and invisible to human eyes. So these infrared waves are invisible to human rays, so human cannot see this infrared waves. And these are also it is also the frequency between 300 gigahertz to 400 terahertz. So the frequency between 300 gigahertz to 400 terahertz, then we call it as infrared waves. So the human eyes cannot see these infrared waves. So the advantages of infrared waves is used for short distance and distance communication having high frequency. So short distance and with high frequency, so it is used this infrared waves. So many hospitals for x-ray we are using infrared rays only. The human cannot see these rays, and it will cannot penetrate walls. These infrared waves also cannot penetrate walls. And examples of infrared is waves is we can burn the charcoal and heat from the electric heater. So we are using electric heaters, all are having infrared waves only. And in hospitals also we are using to take x-ray, we are using infrared waves only. So these are the three types of unguided transmission media. And the next topic is, so the transmission media and its types are completed. The next topic is digital modulation and multiplexing. So digital modulation and multiplexing, so we'll see the introduction of today's introduction of digital modulation. So modulation, before going to discuss digital modulation, we will see modulation. So modulation is nothing but it is the process of converting data into electrical signals optimized for transmission. So modulation is nothing but the data will be converted into signals for transmission. So to send the data to the source to destination or sender to receiver, the data will be converted into electrical signals. The data may be, here the data may be video or audio or data, that means raw data, anything, text, we can simply say that text. The data may be anything, video, audio, picture or text, anything that will be converted into signals for transmission. We cannot send directly to the destination, so there should be a modulation. why we have to do modulation for on the data. So to So, is it necessary or is there any necessity to do modulation? Yes, it is necessary to do modulation. Why? Because we cannot send the data directly to the destination. So, we can simply convert into signals and we can send. But there should be a need of modulation. Why? Because baseband signals is nothing but the data we are sending to the destination. That data will be incompatible for direct transmission. So for such a signals to travel longer distance, that signals we are not sending the data only for small distance, or we are sending the data for one area. Not like that, we are sending the data and through the world, or through the country, or in this entire world we are sending the data to anywhere. So to send that data like that, so the signals may be lost its strength. So for a shorter distance we may simply send the signals very easy, but for longer distance the signal may lose its strength. Why? Because of obstacles or anything. So it without losing its strength, there should be, or we have to do the modulation. So with the high frequency, so the modulation will give the strength, and it will increase its frequency without losing its the original data. So because of that the modulation will necessary. Okay. So advantages of modulation: reduction of antenna size. That means the distance. Antenna is nothing but it is not a physical thing, what we are calling antenna. So it is a antenna, but the distance, so we are traveling from longer distance, the signal is traveling longer distance. So to by doing modulation we are reducing the antenna size, and no signal mixing. That means avoiding the other signals or avoiding the noise. And third one is increased communication range. So to increase the communication range we are doing modulation. So modulation is nothing but modulation is process of converting data into electrical signals for transmission. So every signal is having three characteristics. First one is amplitude, frequency, and phase of carrier. So we are changing these three: amplitude, frequency, and carrier of phase of carrier. That means we are changing these three without losing data. Amplitude is nothing but the distance the signal will travel, and frequency is nothing but the waves, the number of waves occurred in particular time. And a phase of carrier is nothing but the data, how the data is traveling to the destination. That is phase of carrier. These three are we are changing, for we are changing to reach the destination. This is the modulation. These three are we are changing, but the original data will not be changed. We are changing the amplitude. Amplitude means the distance between source to destination. Frequency means the number of waves, and phase of carrier means how it is traveling to the destination. If amplitude changes, the phase of carrier also changes, because the distance may increase or decrease. If it is decrease, that means the phase of carrier, that means how it is traveling to the destination, so that will also be changed. So these are the advantages of modulation. So by doing modulation we reduce the antenna size, that means the distance we are reducing, and we are avoiding the signal mixing, means we are avoiding the noise, and we increase the communication range. So these are the advantages of modulation. So modulation techniques can be divided into two types. One is analog modulation, second one is digital modulation. Analog modulation means we are changing the music, audio, video, or data, all are changing that data into signals. Digital modulation means the binary data will change it to the electrical signals. Analog means the data, song, audio, video data will be changing into signals. Digital modulation means the binary data, zeros and ones, can be changed to the electrical signals. These two are two modulation techniques. So analog modulation is also having different types, and digital modulation is also having different types. In our syllabus we are having only digital modulation. So in tomorrow's class we will see the digital modulation and its types. How digital modulation can be classified into three types. What are that three, we'll see briefly. So these are the topics we discussed today. So first one is unguided transmission media and introduction of modulation. Tomorrow's class we will see that in detail what is digital modulation and its types. So this is the today's topic. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.